All right. See if it's working. Is it working on your end? Good, bad?
I'm waiting for you to say
Working on
something.
your end? Okay. It's working. Cool. Working on X. Let me go check YouTube. Yep. And we're live on YouTube. Sweet. Let me go make the announcement in Discord. All right. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Send the announcement in Discord. Why fake Casey Trades just joined my own Discord? His name is Casey Trade _ ban. All right. If everybody on the stream, please like and retweet the stream. Just let people know it is out there. It is recorded. So if they cannot attend it live, they can watch the recording later on. So please like and retweet the stream. See if we can get over another 1,000 on here tonight. I should have made a thing like if I hit over 1,000, I'll put my pit vipers on. Huh? You gotta go get them. I don't know where they're at. I think they're my nightstand. All right, so Techwood, you're good. Sweet. So normal 3 that I'm going to start with, obviously SPY, QQQ, and IWM. The other 3 that I am looking at this week are Apple, which I've already sent a chart out prior today, but I will just review the chart again here on live. And then I'm looking at Shopify, and I'm looking at Celsius. So for starters, SPY, I kind of already have an idea for SPY. So SPY currently closed at 553.90 on last session for Friday. So as of right now, if I just go back here on SPY, we're in this supply, right? So we have this resistance right here, and we're just retesting again. So SPY hitting 555, I'll look to go short and get puts on the initial test for the rejection, but a break and hold above 555, then I'll look to flip long and get calls after 555 for SPY. There's a level here. There's another smaller level here. Right here. So above 555, I'll target 556.5, 555.8, and then essentially almost target upside after that be 556.4. My put trigger and my big support is going to be 551.50. I think this is going to be a big spot for SPY to have some support and see some buyers step in. So on a retest right here, I will initially look to get calls if I see buyers step in. But if it does break and hold underneath 551.5, then I will look to go short and take it down to 550.3, 549.75, and then 549 right here. I don't believe there's anything. I mean, the daily closed right up here at the top in this supply. So, I mean, this 555 area, this is going to be really, really big on SPY. If it holds above 555, I think it can get a nice run, essentially back up to this area on the daily, which is 559.70 to 560. So potential $5 move. After that, 562, and then previous all-time highs at 565. That 541.50, the full target downside would be like 548.9 area. Let me see, the low is 548.88. And then if it closes underneath that and starts to lose that level, SPY does have that gap to fill all the way down here to 545. So almost a like a $3 to $4 move here on this gap. And I mean, looking at SPY, it's about to make my chart look crazy if I do this with all the lines that are about to pop up, but yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. Let me open up a separate tab right here that doesn't have all my crazy shit on there. So SPY on the daily, if it does reject 555 and pull back, a little shooting star here on the 4-hour, I can see an inverse head and shoulder setting up on SPY. So you got 555 right here, right? Get rid of these two. So if SPY rejects right there, see the rejection, and then it come back down. Was that 541.25 potentially? So, I mean, if SPY rejects, I think that might line up with like my 541.50 area, because that's 541.6. So again, initially off 555, I'm looking to go short off this resistance in the supply here, and take it back down, send it to 541.6, and then look to exit majority of the short position of the puts, and then look to potentially flip long here, maybe with a tight stop under 540 psych level, but to see if buyers step in, create the right shoulder for this inverse, and send it back up to 555, and then break and hold above the neckline, just have that continuation to 560, 562, and then 565 after that. So even if SPY does pull back here, I mean, it does have the potential for a bigger move coming on a pullback. So definitely we'll keep that on watch. So 555 and 551.5 on SPY. QQQ 476 is going to be my call trigger. So it's like 471.50, 471.40. Yeah. So currently I have these 4 levels up here on QQQ. 476.16, 474.80, 473.4, and 471.40. So a break and hold above 476.16, I'll look to go long. A break and hold under 471.40, I'll look to go short. Again, initially off the top for 476.16, I'll look to go short for the rejection. Obviously, you've seen it's been resistance previously, so see if third time's the charm for the break and hold above it. But risk to reward says to attempt to short here at the resistance first in this overhead supply until proven otherwise, until it does that break and hold, flipping it to support, and then showing that buyers are present to take it higher. So 476.16, and then on a retest of 471.4, if QQQ does go downside, I will look initially to get calls here off the support. Risk to reward is better for the calls. With a tight stop right below, look to take it back up to these levels. If it closes and holds underneath 471.4, then I will look to flip short and get puts, and initially go target that 470 psych level right here on QQQ. Daily, similar to SPY, just has this overhead resistance that got flipped to support. We broke underneath of it, retested it previously, got smacked straight back down, and now QQQ is just retesting that area again. So under 470 goes to 468.3. If QQQ loses that, it's going to enter into that gap, get that move downside to 465. So definitely make sure you're marking where these gaps are at on these charts. So, and it looks like there's a gap to fill to the upside on QQQ to 480. So if it breaks and hold above 476.16, target's going to be 480 cycle level to fill that gap. I just saw your text, Whale. I usually can't check the chat. I can try. Just don't want to mess up the stream. Let's see if it pulls it up. Whale said try to smile every once in a while. This is serious. Coinbase, we'll look at Coinbase. Let me finish these ones first. So that was SPY and QQQ, and then we have IWM. IWM needs to get above 214. Let me make sure I close that. IWM needs to get above 214. That's going to be my call trigger on IWM, just to go up and quickly get that push to fill that gap to 215. My put trigger is going to be 211, and I'm going to target the 210 area. And I'm doing this on the daily chart. Now let's see how those red lines look on a intraday 5-minute. See how close I am. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Damn, that was pretty good. Beautiful. Look at that bottom wick right there. And then almost hit this top one perfectly, off by 6 cents. There we go. Wah! I fucked it up. There we go. So 214 is my call trigger, 211 is going to be my put trigger. So initially hitting 211, I'll look to get calls off the bounce, but if it breaks and holds underneath of it, then I would exit any longs. But if I'm not in longs, then look to then enter puts on IWM. Retesting 214, I'll look to go short just for a double top. Really tight risk to reward, better for the short, and then take it back down. And if it decides to just break above it and it starts to hold above 214, then look to flip long, get the calls, and get that push to close that gap quickly to 215 on IWM. Let me look at coin real quick. My trend line got moved on coin. Coin can come down a little bit more, but it's at a key spot right now on the daily. Thank you, Imp. Huh? Yeah. Well, he said sexy. You got this overhead resistance or support that's now going to be potentially flipped to resistance. Daily 21 EMA is lining up very nicely right at 209. So if Jesus, if coin hits 209, I'm going to look to go short there. Let me put this trend line out. I like the way that's lining up. So there's a trend line test there too. So a lot of reasons to potentially look to short coin right here if 209 is tested. I really like that. I like that idea. What is M sending in the group chat? He said there's a party in my pants and you're invited. So coin off of 209, I really like that. I can see right here if I probably drop this down to a 1 hour, it looks like a trend line is right here, and that's what one of the listeners was pointing out, along with Emp, who just said it. There is a rising wedge on coin currently. So approaching this resistance right here, I really, really like that for a short. So between 207.60 and 209, probably honestly, I'm just going to say 207 to 210. A $3 move on coin is minimal. Yep, yes, sir. So Emp agrees. He likes it. So, yeah, I really like coin there for this potential short. And the rejection up there to get short, honestly, target's going to be 200 psych level first. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to get a screenshot of this chart and send it out. Short. Out of coin. Crypto. is a scam. Screenshot this. So yeah, I like that on coin. So I'll send that chart out. Uh, after that was Apple. This is going to be very quick because I already sent that chart out previously and it's still on here most likely. Yeah, there it is. So um, Apple hitting this supply up here around 227. I'm going to look to initially go short on Apple, target 224, 222, and then 220. When it starts to break under 220, this area between 220 and 217, that's where I'm going to look to see if buyers are stepping in and then flip long on Apple to create the right shoulder here for this inverse and then take it back up to those same targets then above 220, 222, 224, and then 227. And then see if we can get that breakout above the neckline when it does the SR flip and then take it up potentially to those previous all-time highs around like 237 area. So initially going to look to go short on Apple and then eventually flip long here. If it does just break and hold above 227, it's not going to create the inverse head and shoulders. I would still just watch it as it's on this nice trend to the upside, higher highs and higher lows, and just hit these next targets up here, 231, probably 230 psych level, honestly, is going to be um, a big spot. Yeah, there's 230 psych level. It's 231.32, 232.50, 233.50. It's around 235. And the previous all-time highs around that 237. Drop it down to a 5. So, yeah, these would be my levels and my targets above. If it does start to break and hold above 227 on Apple. So I'm going to keep on the larger time frame, so the 4-hour right here, this potential inverse head and shoulders to set up on Apple. Last two, Shopify. I tried to catch this gap fill for the longest time, and it looked like it was going to do it, and then just completely dumped and fell off the face of the freaking earth. And then, lo and behold, in a very short amount of time, it quickly recovered and then went and filled the daily gap completely. So now that it's filled the gap, we have this nice little candle up here at the top with a really high wick on it off of 75. So I'm looking to potentially short Shopify down to 73, and if it breaks under 73, there is a small gap to fill to 71.76. So I am looking to short Shopify off of $75. I'm going to target 73, and then I'm going to target 71.75 on Shopify this week. So potentially going to open up a call credit spread as well for Friday. I will potentially look to probably sell the 77s and buy like the 80s or maybe 78, honestly. I'll have to look at the premiums on it. I mean, this is obviously going to change, but I can go check right now. So if I do a call credit spread on Shopify, if I sell the 78s, I'd get 28. Buy the 80s, I'd get like 13 or 14. So I'd get $14 on the spread. Okay, so I'd probably have to do the 77s. So I would do the 77s. I would sell $77 calls and buy the 80s. I would do a $3 wide spread, and my net premium on that is going to be 30. So that's not bad. So I can take 10 contracts of each, collect 30 on the premium, and as long as by Friday expiration, Shopify is underneath $77. That way, that call credit spread's not in the money, and it inspires full profit 100%. I'll collect an easy $300. So I'll look to open up that call credit spread, and also again look to buy puts in the cash account, just day trading it off of 75 and then target 73 and then 71.75. Last but not least is Celsius. Go to Celsius, go to the weekly. You have a beautiful green inverted hammer candle here at the bottom of a significant downtrend on Celsius. So I am looking to go long on Celsius. I mean, this stock has had an incredible run. I fucking love Celsius. So, and just using this right here, if you mark this zone, this previous supply here, rejection, 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 right? Cup and handle, breakout, rips above it, flips it to support right here. This is the first time since then that Celsius has come back down to this area to be retested as support. And at the bottom of this, where the support that you want to see hold here on Celsius, it's a green inverted hammer candle. I like that a lot to go long. So I think going long Celsius here around 40 with a stop under 36. Where's 40? Right there. So I'm going to look to buy calls. Potentially some longer dated calls. So I'll initially look at September 20th, I believe, is the expiration. September 20th. So I'll probably look to grab $45 calls for September 20th. After that, I'll look to potentially roll those to $50 calls for October 18th, and then roll those to January $70 calls. Yes, $70 calls for January. That would be the strikes and expire that I'd be taking here on Celsius. Because this is based on the weekly time frame, this can be a long hold. So I want to have those options for September, October, and then January. So continue to roll those contracts. So I believe, yeah. So the purple line here, let me get rid of this. The purple line is the 200 EMA. The white line is the secret indicator that I'm not allowed to talk about live unless he gives me permission, because that is his secret moving average. So when you see this right here with these moving averages line up, either at the top or at the bottom of a uptrend or downtrend, for a rejection or an area of support, so far it looks like it means something significant. So with it having it's just extremely oversold on the weekly. I mean, the daily chart looks like shit. I mean, this thing's just been downtrending. I mean, just double topped around almost $100, and now it dropped down to 40. So much room for more upside if it does hold here. It did just complete the gap fill as well. So, gap has been filled, retesting support. it lines up with the weekly 200 EMA and the empticator. And then it's also a green inverted hammer candle at the bottom of that downtrend. This is, I think, it's going to be a good opportunity to go long on Celsius here. So this is my top watch, honestly, for the week out of everything, just because this has potential for a very, very long dated trade, and I want to make sure I stay on top of it, and I can take advantage of the potential move here on Celsius. Just trying to put these targets on here that I see on the daily. Let's see how this looks on the 5. There we go. Beautiful. So yellow area right here. This is where I'm going to look to take my first round of calls. My stop is $36 down here, and then I'm going to look to obviously take it to the previous highs that we have, and then once it breaks above that, which is 42.50, look at potentially, I mean, the top target here is $62. So look to take Celsius back up to those areas. Let me add these areas right here. Mark this high here. Mark that consolidation with the low. I'll leave it right there for now. So yeah, I really like this setup here. So we'll see what happens on Celsius. Let me highlight this zone again. Get a screenshot of that. So SPY, QQQ, IWM, Apple, Shopify, Celsius, and then Coin. So Coin looked like potentially a good short. What platform am I using right now? This is TradingView, where I do all my charting. Did we break over 1,000? We did. Yay. Take a look at Tesla. Yeah, I'll throw Tesla up just because I know that's probably going to be a big one to look at this week. So Tesla, 216 is already a big spot that I have. It looks like I already kind of have something setting up here. So like 266, 267 area. So we're here at 165. That's on the weekly. Beautiful inverse head and shoulders right here. Just ripped it to the upside. So the daily candle retesting. This was support, came back down, flipped it to resistance here, and then this is the first time coming back up here. this is, I would initially look to go short, just risk to reward, but I mean, this looks, you got another little smaller one right here too to monitor. That probably looks clean on the 15-minute. So retesting this area right here initially, I think I would look to go short, which is 220 to 216 area on the daily. I would look to go short on Tesla there. You can get a pullback down to like 207, which 207 again would also then be my put trigger. And it's going to be a break of this trend line here. So if Tesla, let me see, where's it at? Here. Tesla rejects here, breaks this trend line, then I'll look to get puts on the break and hold underneath 207, take it down to 200 psych level. Tesla breaks and holds above 220. I'll look to take calls when 220 is a flip to resistance, or sorry, flip to support from resistance, take it back up to 236. Would almost be a full target there. So almost a $16 move potentially on Tesla. So I would mark 216 to 220. Just watch that for a potential short initially, but if it does break and hold above 220, I think looking for a long on Tesla can be very, very good to continue this little trend that's got going on for the higher highs, higher lows. But if it breaks this trend line here and starts to really break 207, that would be my put trigger, and then take it down to $200 psych level. So that's it for me. SPY, QQQ, IWM, Apple, Shopify, Celsius, Coin, and Tesla. So he did a lot. Big ones that I like were the inverse head and shoulders potentially setting up on Apple, Shopify for the short on the daily, and the biggest one obviously is Celsius on the weekly. That is going to be my biggest top watch this week. So going to be opening up a few credit spreads on these names along with day trading the options as well within the Discord. So I'll be on live every day in the premium Discord live trading with the team from market open to about lunchtime. That's the goal. Try to make money, be done within the first 2 to 3 hours. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate you. So, screenshotted a few of those charts. Let me make sure they saved. I'm going to put them in the Discord. And then, yeah, there's Celsius and Coin. And then I will also post these on Twitter as well here shortly. And that'll be it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, either in the Discord or on live spaces with the crew, like a normal time around 9. So hope you guys have a good night. The Guy Capital appreciates you. MSG appreciate you. Thank you very much. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.